Hello. What's up, guys? How are we doing? Hello, hello, hello. Okay. How you doing? My nose is very stuffy, so I apologize for all the sniffles. It's dry out here, and my sinus broke my nose so many times where my sinuses act up immensely. Um, Car traffic in Seattle. I love Seattle. I like it. So again, I apologize for the sniffles, but my nose is not cooperating with me. Okay. This one, it's not going to be too long, but I thought it would be important because I have been getting people to work out with sick. Um, Depends on how sick I am. Because I actually been getting a lot of people reaching out to me about meal prepping in the sense of like what to do. So I thought we could talk about that. I first want to just kind of share like what my typical meals are during the day. And then kind of like just real easy ways to make it work for your life. Does that sound good? Well, better because if you're watching, that's what we're going to talk about. Anyway, so for most of the time, I would say the best way to look at it is eating. Like I always get, well, how many meals per day should I eat? Like, well, whatever matches your lifestyle. So for me, I eat around 3 to 4 meals per day. The reason why is because I'll have breakfast in the morning and then I usually go to work where I work with a lot of one on one clients, and that will be anywhere from 5 to 6 hours. And normally it's back to back to back to back to back. So I don't have a chance to eat again. Depending on how hungry I am, I'll eat a little bit after work. It'll be more of like a pre workout meal. Then I'll work out, post workout. So that's meal number three. And then dinner time, meal number four. So for you guys, if you're questioning, really how many meals should you have, that was my computer. Let me turn that down. How many meals you should have? Look at your life, look at your schedule, and see what's allowed. Um, so that would be a good place to start. Like, make it realistic. Don't plan something that you just can't achieve or can't do. Hello, everyone. Then there's a couple of different ways you can go about it. For me, I don't make each individual meal. I make large batches, let's say, for instance, of like vegetables that I can just quickly pour out, or large batches of protein that I can quickly weigh out or measure out or whatever. And I have things that are just easy to prepare, like oatmeal. Or if I do make rice, I make a very large batch and I will store it in a big Tupperware. That's what I do right now. There's have been times where I will literally measure out every single meal for the week. And that's another route you can go. Again, do what's easier for you, for your lifestyle, and do what makes sense. But really, I kind of put into, like I said, two different options. You just make large batches of different things: vegetables, oatmeal, rice, protein, put it in Tupperware, store it in the fridge. And then for whatever meal you want to have, take it out, measure it out, or however you portion your foods, put it together, heat it up. Or, like I said, just get a bunch of little Tupperwares and you make every single meal. I have done that when I've done grocery shopping and meal prepping for one-on-one clients. That's usually the route I go because I try to make it as simple as possible, just like making each meal for the week. So once you decide what route you want to do with that, and obviously, you got to figure out what you want to eat. this and that. Um, and then really preparing the foods. I do it the way I do it right now is I'll prep food on Sunday, and I will prep for about um, till about Wednesday, and then I prep again on Wednesday till about Sunday. So I'm prepping twice because my schedule allows it. Or you can prep whatever day you have available for the entire week. Again, do what matches your lifestyle. Do what matches, really what's appropriate for you. And honestly, that's kind of like the basics. It's not, I don't want you guys to think of it as rocket science or anything like that. It's just do what works for your life, your lifestyle, and what's appropriate. And honestly, another way to quote unquote meal prep is, you can cook each individual meal, if that works for you as well. Like for me, for my breakfast, it's more of that route where I'll prepare more foods right at breakfast, and then the rest of my days are kind of prepped out, or the rest of my meals for that day are prepped out. So find what works for you. Try different tactics, but it doesn't need to get much more complicated than that. Some tips and tricks with it. Frozen vegetables are great. And believe it or not, they tend to sometimes be more nutritious than quote unquote fresh produce. Because with frozen vegetables, when they pick them, they immediately freeze them. And if you think of fresh produce, comes from the farm, it's sitting out, it's on the truck, and by the time you get it, it could be weeks old. All depends on where the farm is and where your grocery store is getting it from. Frozen vegetables are easy. They obviously can last for a very long time. So that's a thought. With meats, I would cook meats that, as simple as this sounds, cook meats that aren't complicated for you. So for instance, if you're concerned about like cooking steak and you have no idea what to do, this or that, well, then maybe I wouldn't have every meal include steak. If chicken or fish or whatever it is more comfortable for you, go that route. I know that, like I said, could be common sense, but it's worth saying. With grain wise, I would, if you're eating rice, a rice cooker is phenomenal, or an Instapot, because it's pretty much like you put it in there, close it, set the timer, walk away, and then you can go focus on other things instead of doing it in the pot, like an actual, big pot. Other things with that, really, it's all going to come down to planning and like picking your days appropriately, picking when you want to meal prep. If you like grilling, stick to grilling. Again, it's pick things that make sense for you. Trader Joe's frozen rice. Yeah, it's again, it comes down to the ingredients and looking at what's in it. Most of the times, yeah, Instapots are awesome. So really, like, I know this is simply put, and there's no like secret answer to it, but that's the whole point. I want you guys to realize it doesn't have to be crazy or insane. It's simple things that can make your meal prep journey a little bit easier. Another thing I like to do is I'll kind of pick 3 to 4 meals and do that the entire week, so I don't have to prep or prepare so many different things, and then the next week I change it. Because if yes, variety is important, but it's not like it has to be so, it's not like you have to get 20 plus different meals for the entire week. So those are really kind of the basics to it. I want to give you guys a chance to ask some questions specifically with this if you have any. And my nose is still bothering me. How much protein per meal for muscle gain? That all depends on you. I would need more muscle than someone who weighs 150 pounds. So it really just depends on body weight, body fat percentage, volume, ratios. I can't give you a specific answer to that. Anything else with meal prepping? Hi. Hello. That's not true. You can definitely take in more than 30 to 35 grams. Some meals I know I've taken in at about 100. Hello. Hello. Any other questions with that? Yeah, the 30 gram per meal is, there's so much mixed theory on it. So, like, I could pull up 10 articles saying yes, I could pull up 10 articles saying no. Zero. It's a good song. Always organic? No. So, good rule of thumb, if you're eating the skin, I would go organic. Protein, I would go organic. Um, things that you're not eating the skin with, it's not as crucial. That's like just a good thing to follow. I know there's specifics about certain things, this and that, which if you wanted a specific answer to each, I would definitely have to look up. But that's always a good rule of thumb. Do you consume the same amount of protein on an off day? Yes, I do. How I made the protein pancakes. I will, in the near future, be releasing an actual thing about that, because I wouldn't do it justice kind of explaining it over this. It would actually, I want you to actually see it so you can do it. Any other questions? I know this is a short one, but I got a lot of people asking about it. That's why I wanted to actually kind of quickly go over it. Um, so it's now like this will be on YouTube, so you can always look back at it. Desserts. With desserts, I mean, really, there's different. What I'll say about um, desserts. That's a big thing to get into. Um, honestly, you could just go ahead and have it. It's if you're if everything is going according to plan with your body. Um, and I could get a lot into that. Or you can find variations to not have it have nearly as much sugar. So there's ways to get around it. Best food for anti-inflammatory. That is a very very long list. Protein shake for dessert. There you go. Do you have a workout book or something? I would definitely purchase it. No, I don't. It's not a bad idea. All right. And like I said, I know that was a short one, but I wanted to at least share it because I really just want you guys to get that this, like, health doesn't have to be hard. You just have to make it a lifestyle. And with meal prepping, as I mentioned earlier, you can create what works for you. And the tips that I shared, um, I would start there. And like I said, there's not a lot much more to it. But other than that, guys, thanks for hopping on. This will be saved on YouTube if you want to go back to it. And I will talk to you later. Bye.